Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jake Lenknecht here, along with head coach Scott Langer. Coach, obviously a tough weekend at home with a 2-1 loss on Friday and then a 2-0 loss on Saturday. But, Friday night, starting with that, a power play 0-4, PK was 3 of 3, killing off all of their opportunities. Some costly turnovers early, not a great start, but, a strong third. What did you, we talked a little bit before the game Saturday, but what did you take away from Friday's game?
And we had the chances. We had chances throughout that game to score. Obviously, they were good defensively. Their goalie was good, and I don't think we paid a whole lot of price over the weekend. And when things get tight in the playoffs, you have to pay a major price in order to score goals, and we need to get back to that.
What does that mean, to pay a price? You mean like pushing, creating space in front of the crease, or like what is it exactly?
That means going to the hard area in front of the net where there's a lot of bodies and a lot of traffic, and finding ways to put pucks behind their goaltender. It's easy to play on the outside of the rink, and they did a good job of keeping us on the outside of the rink, and with that in mind, you got to be a little bit determined if you want to score. We're not going to win. We're not going to win this series scoring one goal in 120 minutes. So we'll work on it this week, and we'll talk about it, and hopefully we're more determined heading into Friday.
Well, it's fun. I'm glad you actually mentioned that, because that was something I was going to talk about with Saturday, because especially over the course of the 8 games in the regular season that these two teams have matched up, it's been a bit of a track meet. But especially it seemed like in the second period on Saturday night, everything was on the walls. There just wasn't a lot of movement throughout either zone, but certainly not the neutral zone. There was just a lot of board battles going on. And do you think that is something that they were trying to do intentionally, or just a product that kind of, as the game went along, that it kind of just took that course?
No, I think their thing was they needed to take away our time and space, because we're even in the 2 games, the time of possession is like landslide between the 2 teams. So I think they knew that offensively or defensively they needed to shut us down, because our offense was clicking pretty good. Even though we weren't scoring, we were possessing the puck a lot.
Yeah. Well, and a very physical first period, especially on Saturday night. And I know it was something that you and I talked about prior to the game that maybe was lacking a little bit on Friday, but the guys came out, and definitely were trying to establish a bit of let's say tempo, but a theme for the game, and it seemed like physicality was a big part of that. Some big hits there Saturday night, and you and I have talked about it. When you guys are playing with grit, I was watching the Wild game yesterday, and when they talked about that, and their playoff slogan is grit first, and you're better when you guys are playing with that sandpaper. And it seemed like again Saturday an improved game, but as Bennett Copel talked about on the on ice interview, maybe not some of the best scoring opportunities as far as percentage goes, and I think that speaks to what you were saying about getting in the right places. All right, the power play, we talked about it, 0-4 on Friday night, only getting 1 opportunity on Saturday. The penalty kill was, again, perfect on Saturday. Neither team scoring a power play goal. You talked about it a little bit, about maybe making some changes on Saturday, or Saturday day or whatever, about personnel and so on too. And I wanted to talk a little about that, about how people get tapped. How do they get chose to be on the power play? What are you guys looking for?
Well, it's attributes. Are you poised with a puck? Can you shoot a puck well? Where are you good at handling pucks up top? I mean, there's a lot that goes into a power play. There's a lot of moving pieces. So. But I mean, at the same time, we're looking for guys that are hungry and want to get on that unit and try to stay on it. But I mean, right now our power play needs to, it needs to get us going. Obviously the way the series is going, we're not going to get a whole lot of power plays. That was evident on Saturday night with the way the game was called. So. We have a few days here to fix that. Try to get it back where we need to be, and at least create some opportunity on it. They have a good penalty kill. They make other teams look pretty bad when it comes to power play. So, but you have to have guys, again, willing to hold on to some pucks and to make some plays and to have guys coming after you because they're a team that's high energy penalty kill.
Yeah. Well, and they came into the weekend, I think 87.5% on the kill over the course of the season. Like you said, it's good, but you guys have found ways to solve it, especially in their building. What makes their kill difficult to have success against?
Well, they're high pressure. They're the second the pass is made, they're hunting puck right away, and some teams in the division just back off and try to take away seam passes and big time chances. So they just get on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a whole rhyme or reason to what their structure is, but their work ethic is really good.
Well, it seemed like your kill, as I said, effective over the course of the weekend, but it seemed like a little bit more aggressive on Saturday night, a little bit more pressure. I wanted to talk a little bit about personnel on that side of it too. You mentioned it on the power play. You're looking for guys that are hungry and want to get on that in that role and stay in that role. Is it the same for the penalty kill?
Well, you have to be willing to block shots. That's a big thing on the penalty kill. So you look at guys that don't have a problem eating pucks. It's not for everybody. I'm sure where you sit, you see it, and you ask yourself, well, why isn't this guy sacrificing? But this guy is. It's the same things we ask ourselves. So, but you have to be a high IQ type player because there's reads you have to make, and you have to be able to change forechecks mid-game, and so they tend to be your smarter players. They tend to be highly reliable guys, where they take pride and they get really upset if they get scored on. Those are the guys that make good penalty killers.
Excellent. Okay. We're talking, obviously talking special teams here, both sides of it, but giving up a short-handed goal, off basically a drop pass that ended up getting picked up, and then, he got a guy, unfortunately, that kind of blows a tire, and they skate in 1-0. It's almost like a perfect storm in a sense, somehow to be able to give that up. But how frustrating it is as a coaching staff when you're watching these things happen and when we just can't seem to catch a break, or is it more like we are not executing?
Yeah, it's an execution thing, and I think it's also an experience thing. We don't have a lot of experience in this room, so we're learning as we go as a group. What works, what doesn't work when it comes to playoff time, and those are tough lessons to learn.
Right.
And we're learning them the hard way. But it's guys get not sticking to the plan sometimes, doing things their own way. That creates some of those odd man situations that seem to hurt us. So hopefully they learn from it, and we go in there Friday and we play a picture perfect hockey game.
Well, that again leads to my next question. Basically, was you've got a do or die game 3, and then a do or die game 4, and then a do or die game 5. Potentially. So, what do you feel like you guys have to do? And where's your level of confidence? Do you feel like they are ready for this road trip?
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't be. This is a team we beat all year long. We played 2 bad minutes over 120 and we lost 2 games. So,
good point.
It certainly could have been a different story. But, we have nothing to lose. We're going to go in there and throw everything we have at them and hopefully be successful. The team that I was with the first year, we had to win a lot of road hockey games to
double overtimes
in order to make the Robertson Cup. So been there, understand that it's very possible for it to happen, but we got to focus on tomorrow, having a good day of practice and preparation, and go in there the right way, and just take care of business. They're thinking about us too. So they took 2, but pretty evenly matched game. Match teams going up and down that ice, so we're fine. We're going to be fine.
Absolutely. Okay. Again, you mentioned preparation, just and the mindset and the mentality that it's going to take. What about from a schematic side of it, or a nuts and bolts kind of X's and O's? Do you do anything different? Do you make any adjustments, or is it you stay with what has worked and what has been successful, and you just kind of try to refine that, or how does it work over the course of this week?
Yeah, you got always have minor adjustments from week to week, but the grand scheme of things is not going going to change. You know, you're not gonna change a whole lot to figure out scoring at this point. You're either going to pay a price and score a goal, or have one go off your backside, or whatever it takes. You know, or you're going to be in the same situation. I think our goaltending's been good. I think he's given us a chance to win both those hockey games. Other guys just need to step up like we did 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
You know, and be excited and have fun playing the game you love.
And there were some close ones there. You know, the third period on Saturday night, I don't know, there were probably 3 or 4 that, you know, a bouncing puck side of the net and it just misses, or, you know, I think Dubois had one that was maybe an inch off the post on a foot open on the inside. It was like they just wouldn't go, but they were so close. So you got to, you know, feel like those bounces are going to come. So, all right. Well, as I always say, Coach, I know you're busy, and I appreciate you taking some time. And good luck against St. Cloud. Looking forward to that road trip there over to the MAC.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, folks. Second portion of Wings Weekly will come up after this.
We're gonna be here all day.
Once upon the greatest of all times.
Who's this? It's Kyler Murray. Kyler. Bring my phone to 6th Street. We gotta wrap this up. We're looking for Kyler! Just left. Shanae!
I'll take those wings, though. Wanna catch the game? Yo, Josh, what's up?
Yo, Shanae! Josh. To the film room! Yeah! Wow! Wrong quarterback. Can't even see the screen. He does. Where's my phone? Wrong quarterback, bro. To the greatest of all brands!
To the greatest of all times, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome to the second portion, or continuing on with the second portion of Wings Weekly. And as usual, a player is joining me. This is a young man that you have met before, obviously, but Landon Parker of East Grand Forks, Minnesota. Thanks again for coming on the show. We appreciate you taking some time.
Oh yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Well, as I was just talking with Coach about, kind of a rough weekend here at the OD, unfortunately. You know, you end up finding yourselves in a hole, much like Minot is against Austin. You know, that's the way it goes sometimes. But to have an opportunity at home against a team that you've had success with over the course of the season, and come up just a little short, and like Coach said, you know, and I thought that was a very poignant point that he made, was that really it was about 2 minutes of bad hockey or a couple of mistakes in that 2 minutes over the course of the weekend that ends up, you know, with 2 losses. Otherwise, a pretty solid weekend in a lot of senses. What was the temperature like on the bench? What were guys? Do you feel like they were loose? They were confident? Tell us a little about, I don't know, I guess the mindset of the players.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we kind of had that same mindset we've had the past few weekends, and you know, even when we got down, I think we all kind of believed in it, and I feel like we didn't change the way we played. We still kind of you know, try to stick with our systems and stick with the things that have worked up to this point, and unfortunately, it just didn't kind of go our way this past weekend. But I think we still generated a lot of chances, especially on Saturday night in the second and third period. I think we possessed the puck a lot and created a lot of chances, and unfortunately, we just weren't able to get the goals. But I feel like the chances were there, and I think you know, on the bench we were still positive, and we still had that jump in our step. It wasn't for a lack of you know, motivation, obviously, or anything like that. I think we just weren't able to get those last few bounces that we needed. But you know, I think we'll kind of address what needs to be addressed and go into the next weekend.
Well, and Saturday I would absolutely agree with that. I mean, I was mentioning with Coach that the, you know, physicality, the jam was there. On Friday it seemed like a little bit of a slower start. Do you feel like it was the same? Did you have the same energy, or do you? Oh boy, I hate to say it like this, but do you go into Friday kind of thinking it's going to be too easy after the weekend that you had against them last weekend?
No, yeah, I wouldn't say we thought it was too easy. I think maybe we were a little bit too comfortable. I think, you know, we'll never go into a series thinking it's going to be easy. Obviously, we know at any given night anybody can win, and you know, things were going the right way the weekend prior, and I just think more than anything, I think it was just an off night for us, and I think we changed that on Saturday. I thought we had jump, and I thought we we had the juice. We just weren't able to get the goals that we needed.
Yeah. Well, and I just mentioned that with Coach too, talking about the third period particularly. Goals right under me there, and I can just see how close some of those actually were, and that's frustrating. But it is what it is. Great crowds both Friday and Saturday night. As far as the numbers go, and they were really active in cheering and so on too. Mm-hmm. But I feel like in a sense that after 2 losses, there might be some fans that walk away from the rink or walk away from those games kind of feeling a little dejected or disappointed. What would you say? You're a leader. You're a guy that even when I talk to other players, that you're always a positive guy. That you're coming to the bench saying we've got this. We've got it covered. What would you say if you were able to talk to the fans, which you are able to right now? Yeah. How would you address that?
No, I mean, we've been in this situation before. Like we had to play this team 4 times in a row, and we had to win every single game. And I think the one thing with this team is when our backs are against the wall, I think we show up to play, and that's when we play our best, is when we're playing desperate and we're playing together. I mean, we've grown really close as a family these past few weeks, and I think, as we continue to go through this adversity, I think there's a lot to look forward to, and I think once our backs are against the walls, I think that's when we play our best. So, obviously we're hoping to be back for Game 5, and we're going to do whatever we can to get it done in St. Cloud this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, and it's a very good point that you mentioned, that it did come down to even being able to get in, to go from 5th to 2nd with being able to, so there has been adversity. And I've often said, and I've asked Coach Schlanger about it too, that sometimes you can almost learn more from a loss about what it is to, what that you need to improve upon or whatever than you can a win sometimes. So that's kind of an interesting side note, I guess. I don't know. I can't, like what we talked about. You've, obviously been playing this game a long time, and you know what needs to be done and what needs to be improved upon and so on. What would you say, for example, when I talked with Coach Langer about the power play and about the guys that are on it and how they work to get on it and so on, what do you look at? When you see it, do you think, man, we need to do this a little differently? Not obviously from the coach's side, but from a player standpoint, are you like, we made a mistake here or whatever? What do you think needs to be improved upon?
I think all around, we just have to keep that 5-on-5 mentality. We can't sit back once we get on the power play. I think Steps does a great job kind of preaching that to us, and it's kind of up to us as players to go out there and do it. And I think we have the right coaching in order to be successful in the power play, and I just think we just have to kind of put it to fruition and start scoring some goals there. I mean, at the same time, I think St. Cloud has done a good job kind of adjusting to little things. I know we made some switches on our power play, and they adjusted to it really quickly, which is kudos to them, but we're going to find a way to get some goals on there this next weekend.
Yeah, well, and Coach Langer mentioned that too, that it is about execution, but that is a strong kill over there for sure too. All right, well, I'm not gonna keep you, talking hockey X's and O's and all that kind of stuff, and we've already been through, how you got started and what your influences have been. So now I've got some hot seat questions for you.
Oh boy, all right.
We're gonna have a little fun with this. If your horoscope told you that you would win the lottery, would you believe it? Would you go buy a lottery ticket? Or don't really take a lot of stock in that sort of stuff?
I mean, I don't take a lot of stock in there, but I think I would do it. Might as well. I mean, it's worth a shot. I never buy or like lottery tickets and stuff. So, I mean, if I got a good feeling that it could be the one, might as well.
I don't know
how much are they usually? I don't even know.
How much is it to buy one?
Yeah.
I don't know either. I never buy
if it's not expensive, I mean, might as well.
That's true. I mean,
risk reward is not there, but I mean, if something's telling me it's my time, I might give it a shot.
That's a good point. I mean, if it's $5 or whatever, it's not like you're taking a huge.
Yeah.
I honestly have never bought one. Well, I should say never, but it's been a long time. All right. So now talking about money, if you say you win the lottery, you've got $1 million. But you have to spend it in 24 hours. You've got to spend it all in one day.
Jeez.
What are you buying?
Oh man, what am I buying? Some nice cars, a nice house. Can I invest in something?
As long as you spend it, I guess you should.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably invest in some Bitcoin or something.
No, wait. Okay, so no way. I'm going to backtrack on that. You can't invest it. You have to blow it.
I have to blow it up? Yep. Okay, yeah. Cars, houses, probably buy my parents a house. I don't know, yeah. Get some nice things.
All right, so now the next one. What is one food that you would never share, even with your significant other? Like one food that is like you just would never wish upon anybody else. What is something that you would just like, no way will I ever eat that? I don't.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know. It's putting me on the spot.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point of the hot seat. Come on.
Maybe some steak that's just not cooked at all, like almost like raw steak. Yeah, I would never. I don't know. You watch the Liver King; he's always eating that stuff. Even if it's like, I don't know. I like it medium rare, and if it's any less than that, I'm not wishing anybody's eating that.
See, medium rare is the way to go for me too, but I'd be the other way around. I'd rather eat it less cooked than more cooked.
Yeah.
When it's shoe leather.
Either way, yeah, might as well eat a hamburger if you're gonna have it more cooked.
Right. All right. So what would you say is your favorite smell that other people would think is kind of odd or weird? You know, like people sometimes like maybe like the smell of tar or gas.
Yeah, I was gonna say gas.
Yeah.
I feel like I like the smell of gas.
Not bad. I know, like I said, a lot of people, tar or Megan had a weird one a while back. I can't remember what it was now, but anyway. What would you say is the best piece of advice that was given to you that kind of steered your path or a different direction or maybe changed your life in some way?
I mean, just with hockey-wise, I think just kind of trust in the process. It's kind of generic to say, but I think another thing that's big is just kind of staying in the present, not worrying about things that you can't control. I think not even with hockey, but kind of with everything, if you can kind of just control the things that you can control, you're going to save yourself a lot of stress and stuff like that.
Good philosophy. I like that. Okay. All right. So now, what if you were writing a book about you and your life, all right? What's the title? What are you going to call it?
Oh, man.
I got to be honest with you, this is probably the hardest Wings Weekly that...
Putting me on the spot, but best, or what the title would be?
Yeah. What's the name of the book going to be?
I don't know, probably LP with a line under it, because everyone calls me LP and they'll put something behind it, like LP9 or like LP19. I don't know, they I don't know, like anything with a P they'll put behind it, like, I don't know, some things I probably shouldn't say, but the guys always come up with some sort of nickname for me, and I hear something different all the time. So LP with like a line to fill under the blank, because.
And so you're, in a sense, you're almost throwing it back to the reader.
Yeah, exactly, back to the reader.
All right. What is one thing that makes you scared about the future?
Oh, geez, the technology.
Yeah.
Like you open up Snapchat now, they got this AI thing. I don't know, that scares me.
Freaks me out,
Yeah,
too.
It knows where you're at. I don't know. Obviously, your phone already knows all that stuff, but it's weird. You'll text it some things, and it, I don't know, has some weird answers back.
And you can't get rid of it. I tried to delete it.
No, I try to, yeah, I mean, I wasn't even going to update my Snapchat, but it automatically gave me it, and definitely the technology with that stuff. Some of those AI things, I don't know. I try to stay away from it, but
it's weird how it's snowballed too.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
like in the course of 5 or 10 years, even it's just like it's gone from 0 to 60. It's just crazy.
Exactly, it makes you think what it's going to look like in another 10 years.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, so now you have to pick. This is kind of a tough one. Either you have to pick your age to die.
If I had to pick my age to die.
Yeah.
Oof,
I mean, because some people would say, oh, 100, whatever. But then again, there's others that are like, nah, I don't want to live.
Yeah, I don't want to live miserably. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say as long as I could stay somewhat healthy and, you know, have a good memory and stuff, I'd say I think 85 to 90 would be a good age. Get to see my grandkids grow up and stuff, I think.
See, and that's why it makes it hard, you know, the question like that, because there are those different layers.
Yeah,
like you said,
for sure.
Of your family.
Wouldn't want my family to have to see me suffer if I got too old, but I'll try to keep my health good. So.
Let's see. How about how long does it take? How long, on average, would you say that it takes for you to gain someone's trust?
Right away.
Really? You're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt right away?
Oh, so for me to trust them?
Yeah.
Oh, it depends on who it is. I don't know. I'd have to do a couple testers, but over time, I'd say like I pretty much know if I'm with you every day. I'll know after, I'd say, probably a week or two if you're trustworthy or not.
Okay.
I thought you were saying how long it would take for someone to trust me, so I said right away.
Oh no, of course. No, that I believe, but you know, it's just like I'm a pretty skeptical person.
Yeah.
You get burned a couple times, and you're kind of like, yeah, I don't think I want to trust this person just yet.
Yeah.
But, okay, well, final question here. What would you say is your worst personality trait?
Oh man, probably, I don't know, I get pretty stubborn, I think. Probably that. I don't know, my family probably would say that too. I get a little bit stubborn, probably that.
Stubborn. I'm going to go with that too, actually. That and impatience. I'm not the most patient person.
Yeah, same here.
All right. Well, I know, like I said, I honestly, these questions are a lot harder than the ones that I generally ask, and it makes you think
it was
a little
fun,
bit.
though. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate, being a good sport about it, because it's not easy. But, and of course, I appreciate you taking some time here to join us as we look forward to a Game 3 and hopefully a Game 4 and hopefully a Game 5 right back here in Aberdeen. But a tough task for sure, and I know you guys are up for it. The Wings will be traveling, as I just said, to St. Cloud April 28th to play Game 3 of the Round 1 in the Robinson Cup playoffs with the hopes of forcing Game 4 and 5. And again, Game 5 would be back here Monday night. Catch the action using your Hockey TV login or watch the games at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen, the official home for all Wings away games. The game's audio will be broadcast via Hub City Radio's 94.1 The Rock, or you can download the Rock app and listen anywhere you go. Don't forget, you can listen to Wings Weekly via our podcast. Find the audio for this season's episodes on Spotify, Stitcher, or iHeartRadio. For all the latest news and information on the Wings, visit AberdeenWings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok. Once again, Landon Parker, thank you so much for joining us here on Wings Weekly.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, folks, that'll wrap it up, and hopefully, again, we'll see you back here Monday night on for Game 5.